Hello, welcome to today's 45-minute slow flow. My name is Jill, and we're going to get started on our mats in an easy sitting position. You can have your legs crossed, applesauce, crisscross like I do, or you can have them long before you. That's more comfortable. Whatever is going to be easy for you. We're going to be in this position for a while. You can also have a block or a blanket underneath your bottom to help lift you up so your hips are higher than your hips. You won't necessarily need to have any props for this particular practice, but if you'd like to have them, you're more than welcome to have them at your mat just in case. Today's class is all about creating space. So as you come into this space and on your mat, just come into a natural breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth, or maybe the Ujjayi breath is what's comfortable for you and natural. In through the nose, out through the nose. You can have your hands facing down on the knees, helping to ground you into the mat, into the earth. Maybe you want your palms up, feeling the vibration. Maybe you want one hand on your heart and one on your stomach as you feel the breath moving from belly, chest, throat, and then back down from throat, chest, belly. Creating space here, however that looks for you in your practice. Maybe it's helping to declutter the mind. Maybe it's decluttering a room, getting rid of the old and making things not so much a priority for the materialistic aspects. Or maybe it's setting boundaries and saying no. That's very hard to do, I know, but sometimes we need to do it. Just breathe here naturally. There will be times through our class when I will not be speaking and just letting you enjoy the silence as you breathe into the pose. So don't worry when I let that happen. I'm still here for you and with you. On your next inhale, we're going to bring our palms up high above us, or as comfortable as you want with the height. You want your palms facing together. And then as you exhale, flip your palms so they're facing down. Inhale, facing the palms all the way up. Bringing your hands as comfortable as you would like. And then exhale, flipping them, pushing the air down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale the palms as high as you like. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring our right hand to the mat. And our left hand, we're going to come up and over to the right side, taking a gaze over that left shoulder. Inhaling both hands up as high as you like. And exhale the left hand to the mat. Bring the right hand up and over as you take that gaze over that right shoulder this time. Inhale the palms up. Exhale the right hand one more time to the mat as you take your gaze over that left shoulder. Inhale the palms back up and exhale the left hand to the mat. Inhale back up. And then exhale, flip the hands down to the side. So we're going to come into a tabletop position so you can swing your hips to one side. So in tabletop, we want our wrists underneath our shoulders and our knees underneath our hips. You want your fingers spread nice and wide. And your feet can be flat on the mat, or you can have the toes curled. It's up to you on what's more comfortable in this position for you. We're going to do a little bit of cat-cow here. We're just going to warm up the spine. So as we inhale, we're going to drop the belly, bringing our gaze up, maybe pinching the shoulder blades a little. Then as you exhale, push your hands into the mat, bringing your belly in and your gaze underneath the thighs. Inhale, dropping the belly, taking your gaze up once more. Exhale, pushing the hands into the mat, taking your gaze underneath. Do a couple of these on your own breath. Maybe you want to take your gaze to one side, making a C with the body, and then the other. Or maybe you want to bring a little bit more organic movement by coming to a child's pose, and then coming up for a mini upward facing dog, and then back. Entirely up to you on what motion you like to take here. We're just warming up the spine again. And if you did take one way, then reverse it and come to the other side. In yoga, what we do to one side, we always like to do to the other. And do one more full one, and then just come to a neutral spine. So from here, we're going to bring our right leg nice and long behind us. We're going to keep our toes pointed down. You can stay right here. This is absolutely lovely. Or you can bring your left hand in front of you with your thumb pointed up. So I'm going to move just a little bit so you can see me. So we're balancing on the right hand, left leg. We're going to bring that right heel up just a little higher. And then exhale, release. This time we're going to bring our left foot nice and long behind us. Again, you can stay right here, or you can bring that right hand with the thumb pointed up. You want to keep your gaze to the top of the mat, keeping the neck nice and long, remembering your breath. Bring that left heel just a little higher. And then exhale, release both to the mat. So from here, we're going to curl our toes, lift our knees, and then we're going to shoot our hips up and back for downward facing dog. So we're going to keep our hips nice and high. Once more, our fingers are spread nice and wide. You can have your legs straight with a micro bend, or you can have a generous bend with your belly on your thighs, keeping your head nice and relaxed here. You can make any movement. Maybe you want to pedal the feet. Maybe you want to wag the tail. Or maybe give your head a shake, yes or no. Always on a yes, always on a positive note. And come to stillness. Inhale to the top of the mat, and then as you exhale, we're going to walk our hands to our feet. So from here, we're going to toe heel our feet a little wider than our hips. We're going to bring our belly onto our thighs. You can keep your hands down to the mat, or you can grab opposite elbows, keeping your head nice and heavy here. We're going to ragdoll. Maybe you want to move from side to side. And then come to stillness. We're going to toe heel those feet back together. You can have some room in between. You can have your big toes touch with a swivel between the thighs. It's entirely up to you on what's more comfortable for you and your hips. And then as we inhale, we're going to slowly rise one vertebrae at a time. We want our head to come up last. So we're going to move just a little bit closer to the top of the mat so you can see me. And from here, we're going to bring our hands out to our side for standing mountain. Maybe rock forward and backward Feeling the 4 points on the mat with your feet. And then once you find them, come to stillness. Bring the shoulders up, back, and down. Inhale your hands up overhead or as high that's comfortable for you. And then exhale, bring your hands to the heart center and once more to a standing Savasana or standing mountain. Inhale your hands up as high that's comfortable for you. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, so we're placing our hands on our shins. Gazes to the top of the mat or a few inches in front of the feet. Exhale, fold. Giving a generous bend in the knees, we're going to inhale, rise and shine all the way up. Our hands coming up overhead. And then exhale your hands through the heart center and then down at your side. Inhale your hands as high as you like them to go. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, placing your hands on your shins, your thighs, keeping the neck nice and long. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we're going to rise and shine all the way back up, hands up overhead as high as you like. And exhale down through the heart center and down the other side once more. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale your hands as high as you like. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bending the knees, rise and shine all the way up. Hands up as high as you like them to go. And exhale down through the heart center and then down at your side. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. And then exhale, plant your hands on the mat and we're going to walk them back to the top of the mat. And then we're going to lower to our knees for tabletop position. So from here, we're just going to take a breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. So let's do that together. In through the nose and a big sigh out through the mouth. We're going to curl our toes, lift our knees, and shoot our hips up and back for downward facing dog. From here, we're going to inhale up to the top of the mat and then exhale, walk our feet to our hands this time. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to chair pose. So we're going to bend our knees, bringing our weight in our heels. Bringing your ribs up and then down. Your arms can be up overhead. They can be out in front of you or they can be at heart center. One more breath, getting nice and tall. Exhale a little deeper into that seat. On your next exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands on the mat and then just come to a tabletop position. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to bring our right leg in front of us. So you have your hands on the mat, your right foot is going to come to meet that right hand. And then you're just going to move your right hand so your leg is more in the center of the mat and in between the two hands. So from here, we're in a low lunge position. We're going to inhale our hands nice and high, or as high as comfortable for you. We're having a slight back bend in this lunge. You might feel a nice stretch in that left side. On your next inhale, we're going to end up with a warrior two. So we're going to swing open to the left side. So our back is kind of towards that bent knee. Arms out to a T. Our gaze is nice and fierce over that right middle finger. We're going to flip the front palm. Inhale into reverse warrior. So right hand in the air, back hand at the left leg or at a bind. And on your next inhale, we're going to rainbow our hands to the inside of that right foot. You can toe heel the right foot to the top of the mat if it's comfortable for you. We can stay right here with our hands nice and straight. do have a micro bend in the knee. If it's comfortable for you, you can also come down to the forearms. Or if you like, you can walk your hands to the left side for a little bit of an extra stretch. It's entirely up to you on what version of this Reynolds lunge or lizard that you would like to take. Just remembering your breath here. So we're going to walk our hands back to center. We're going to have our right leg meet our left in tabletop position. We're going to curl our toes, lift our knees, and shoot our hips up and back for downward facing dog. Inhale to the top of the mat, and then exhale, walk your feet to your hands. So inhale to a halfway lift, placing your hands on your shins. Your gaze is to the top of the mat, shoulders up, back, and down, elongating the neck. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose, so we're once more bending our knees. Bring the weight into our heels. Remember, your hands can be out in front of you, high above, or at heart center. Entirely up to you. Just remembering your breath here in this pose. Your weight's in your heels, maybe lifting your toes up off the mat, maybe give them a little wiggle. Get nice and tall as you inhale, exhale a little deeper into that seat. Fabulous job. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, and exhale, plant your hands on the mat and come to a tabletop position once more. So this time, we're going to bring our left leg to meet our left hand. And again, we're going to place the foot more central into the mat. So both hands are on either side of the foot. We're going to inhale, bring our hands up overhead or as high as you like to get them. That left knee is 90 degrees over the ankle. And your back foot can be nice and flat, or if you can see my foot, you can be on the ball of the foot or the toes. But that's going to be more comfortable for you in this particular position. And if it's not comfortable on the knee, then maybe get a little towel and fold it and place it underneath the knee. That's also a great way to get extra cushion. Inhale into warrior two, so we're going to spring open to the right side. Our gaze is going to go over that left middle finger. Flip the front palm and inhale into reverse warrior. So that right hand is going to be at the back leg or at a bind at the waist. Left hand is in the air, palm facing back towards you. And as we exhale, we're going to rainbow the hands to the mat. Once more, they're going to be coming onto the inside of that left foot. You can toe heel that left foot to the top of the mat. You can place your hands nice and flat on the mat, elbows straight with a slight micro bend. If this is comfortable for you, you can stay right here. If it's in your practice, you can come onto your forearms. Or if you like, you can walk your hands to the right side. Just remember your breath in this pose here. Walking your hands back to the front of you. That left foot is going to meet the right in tabletop position. So from here, we're just going to bring the big toes together and we're going to walk our knees to the outside of the mat on each side. And we're going to bring our bottom to the mat or to our feet. And then walk the hands in front of you for child's pose. Maybe your head comes to the mat. Maybe you either have a block or place the towel again. Just take a few breaths here in this particular pose. Maybe walk your left hand just to the outside of the mats, and then bring your right hand and place it on top. Get a nice little stretch in that right side body. Then walk the hands, and this time the right hand comes to just the outside of the mat, left palm on top of the right. And once more, getting a nice stretch in the left side body this time. Walk your hands back to front. Once more, coming into child's pose. And your next inhale, come up to tabletop position. So once more, wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're gonna curl our toes, shoot our hips up and back for downward facing dog. Once more, just giving a pedal to the feet, bring any movement here that feels good. And then come to stillness. Inhale to the top of the mat, and then exhale, walk your feet to your hands. So once more, we're going to bring our feet a little wider than our hips, so toe heel the feet closer to the edges of the mat. Bring your belly onto your thigh. Hands can be at the mat. You can grab opposite elbows. Keeping the head nice and heavy. Once more, coming into a ragdoll pose. Bringing the hands to the mat, toe heel the feet back together. Inhale, we're going to slowly rise one vertebrae at a time, having our head come up last. Hands down at our side for standing mountain. Inhale your hands up high as comfortable. Exhale your hands through the heart center, bending at the waist, coming to a forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we're going to rise and shine all the way back up once more. Hands high above or as comfortable as you'd like to get them. Exhale, hands through the heart center, and then down at our side. Inhale, hands up all the way. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. And then exhale, plant the hands on the mat and come to a tabletop position once more. So if you need to, you can kind of walk your table back a little bit, because we're going to come in onto our stomach. So from here, you can maybe do a little push-up if you like. Or you can just come onto your stomach. Our legs are going to be nice and long. Our toes are going to be pointed. And you're going to push your toenails into the mat. You can keep your hands right here at your side. And we're going to inhale and come up to a cobra position. So we're just coming up a little bit up off the mat, using those back muscles to lift us. We're going to keep our gaze to the top of the mat. And then exhale onto one cheek, hands to your side. Bringing your hands once more right underneath the shoulders. You can stay right here and we can do another cobra together. Or if you like, instead of coming up to a cobra position, you can lift yourself up and come to an upward facing dog. So from here, what you would do is your arms would be nice and straight with a slight micro bend. You're going to push your toenails into the mat, lift the knees, and then exhale, back down, maybe switching sides of the cheek. Arms nice and long beside you. So bring in your hands once more right underneath the shoulders. We're going to lift ourselves into a tabletop position. So if you need to make any necessary adjustments, please do. And then we're going to swing our hips to one side. We're going to come to a seated position. So from here, we're going to bring the soles of our feet together. Maybe you want to peace finger them and grab the big toes right underneath that fleshy part. You can stay right here. This is absolutely wonderful, keeping the arms nice and long, bringing your shoulders up, back, and down. Or if you like, you can come forward. Maybe your elbows push into that fleshy part of the knees. Maybe your hands stay right at the toes, or maybe they grab the ankles. Just opening up the hips a little bit here in this position. And coming up. And we're going to bring our legs out to a V. We're going to bring our right foot, so the sole of the foot meets the left thigh. We're going to keep that left foot nice and flexed. As we inhale, our hands up overhead. As we exhale, we're going to slightly come to the left and then come down. You can grab your big toes, your calf, your ankle, whatever's going to be comfortable for you. Feeling a slight stretch in that side body on the right side. Inhale and slowly come up. And then we're just going to switch sides. So our left foot is into the right thigh. Right foot toes pointed up. Inhale your arms up overhead or as high as that's comfortable for you. As you exhale, we're going to slightly come to the right and then come down. Feeling a stretch in that left side body this time. Slowly coming up. So we're going to come to the top of the mat. We're going to bring the soles of our feet together. Bring your arms out in front of you and then slowly lower onto your back. So from here, we're going to bring our right leg nice and long, toes pointed towards the ceiling. And then from here, we're going to bring that left leg and we're going to bring it up into the sky. You want to have that flat foot, almost like you're putting the foot on the ceiling. So we're just doing a variation of leg up the wall. Your hands can be at your side. Maybe you want to goal post them or bring them up overhead. It's entirely up to you. And we're going to point our toe and then flat foot again. So we're just going to flex a couple times with our foot. Maybe do it with your breath. And then we're just going to make circles with our leg. We're just going to make small circles. And then those circles are going to get bigger. Maybe the leg comes all the way down. Turn on what's more comfortable for you. your space. And then we're going to come to a stillness. Once more, having that foot flex. And then we're going to lower the knee or lower the leg. So left leg is going to go nice and long. And this time our right foot is going to come up. You can also bring that left leg so it's flat on the ground with the foot. So having the knee mid, so that's easier for you as well. So once more, keeping that right foot nice and flex. Remembering your breath here. If you like, you can also take a strap or a belt, or even a scarf, and wrap it around the foot. We're going to point the toe and then flex. Point the toe and flex. Just do a couple of these here. And then we're just going to make small circles with the leg. And again, the circles are going to get bigger and bigger. And it's entitled to you on how big you want to get the circles. Then we're going to bring the foot back up, keeping the foot nice and flex. Don't forget that left foot is also flex as well. And then lower to the mat. We're going to bring both feet so the soles of the feet are on the mat. We're going to walk our feet to the outside of the mat. So we have a nice wide stance with our feet. And then we're just going to bring the knees to the left. So the knees are pointed left, but the feet are pointing to the right. Again, your arms can be at your side, goalposts, above the head. It's entirely up to you and what's more comfortable. Maybe your gaze goes over that right shoulder. And bring the legs up. So once more, if you had moved the legs like I just did, you're going to bring them to the outside of the mat. This time they're going to go to the right, so the knees drop to the right, feet will go to the left. Your gaze will go over your left shoulder this time. Bringing the legs back up so your soles of the feet are on the mat. Maybe bringing the legs into each other a little bit closer. Maybe just windshield wiper them a little bit. And then come to stillness. Bring the knees into the chest and give yourself a rock side to side. It's just as we're lighting the spine on the mat. And then we're going to bring our fingers and hands in between our knees and then grab the outside of our feet for happy baby. So you can keep your feet so they're nice and flex as if you're putting them on the ceiling. You can rock side to side. Maybe one leg gets long and then the other. Whatever movement or non-movement feels good for you here. Let that inner child come out and play. Bring the knees back into the chest. Bring your arms out to a T and then bring the legs to the right side. Doesn't matter how far into this twist you get, you want your shoulders on the mat. So if your legs are more up, that's quite all right. Taking the gaze of that left shoulder. Bring the knees back into the chest. Give a rock side to side. Bring the arms out to a T once more. This time lower the knees to the right side. Gaze goes over that right shoulder. Excuse me. Bring the knees back into the chest once more, rock side to side. And then what I would like for you to do is give yourself a good evening stretch. And then come into Savasana. Take up your space, take up your mat. Give yourself a big smile for beautiful practice. Loosen any tension around the mouth, maybe lowering the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Coming back to the breath here. When your world moves too fast and you lose yourself in the chaos, introduce yourself to each color of the sunset. Reacquaint yourself with the earth beneath your feet. Thank the air that surrounds you with every breath you take. Find yourself in the appreciation of life. Come back to your mat. Imagine the fingers and toes wiggling, and then wiggle the fingers and toes. Give yourself another good evening stretch. Then come to a fetal position on either side. Using your lower arm as a pillow, place the upper hand on the mat, letting you know that you are here, you are safe, you are grounded. Pushing yourself up with that upper hand, bring yourself into an easy sitting position. And let's take one breath together as we inhale. We're going to bring our hands high above us, as high as we like, and then exhale down through the heart center and then down at our side. Inhale once more, bring your arms up overhead, and then exhale down through the heart center. Bowing your heads. I want to thank you for coming to your mat today and practicing with me, creating the space that you need to get through each day. The love light in me honors, cherishes, and respects the love light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a wonderful day.